Hello there everyone, I hope you're all doing well. My name's Annie and I'm the Green Witch. And wow, it has been a while since I've done that intro. So lately I've been getting a lot of questions to do a Q&A. And so I asked you all on Instagram and then later on YouTube what you guys thought and if you had any questions. And oh boy, did we get quite a few questions to answer today. I tried my best to consolidate as many as I could and select most of the questions that were asked over and over, or questions that I thought were good to start off with. But there are quite a few questions that I won't be able to get to today that I would like to maybe address in future Q&As if you guys are interested. I suppose it'll depend on how this video goes, but if you guys like this video, let me know and I will maybe do some more in the future. But anyways, I wanted to thank you all for asking your questions, even the ones that I won't be able to get to today, because it really does give me a good insight into what kinds of videos I should be crafting and what type of content you'll be interested in. So now I have lots of video ideas that are on the horizon. But anyways, thank you to all of you that asked questions, and let's get into this. How did you get into witchcraft? Is it something you found on your own? I grew up in nature and around people that were very much in tune with the energies of the earth. And so in some ways, my whole life has been influenced by it, though it was never called witchcraft. But around middle school and high school, I started looking into herbalism a little bit more. And if you've ever studied herbalism, you'll know there's a lot of witchy tie-ins. So witchcraft had always been a part of my life. The belief system had always been present. But I came to it later in life through studying herbalism on my own. Alrighty, where are you studying herbalism? So I study through the Chestnut School of Herbalism. I absolutely adore the course. I love every second that I get to spend studying it. But real quick, because I know quite a few of you ask where to get good resources for studying herbalism, really, I would recommend checking out the American Herbalist Guild website. Even if you aren't American, they have a huge list of schools and just courses that they've vetted and found to be decent. And I would recommend checking that out. They also have guidelines on how to become an herbalist and just everything that you need to know going into this field if you're interested. How much knowledge would you say you had of herbalism before you started school for it? Were you exposed to herbalism as a child, or did you gain a base of your knowledge through self-study? So, before I started school, I would have said that I had a moderate amount of knowledge. But after starting true courses, I've learned that I had a very minimal amount of understanding when it comes to herbalism. I understood how to take care of myself with basic symptom managing herbs. I was well-versed in how to get rid of a cold or manage sleep problems, but when it comes to something a little more serious, I really didn't know anything. But I had enough knowledge to get me by on a home-based herbal practice. Prior to studying, I gained the majority of my knowledge through reading lots and lots of books and just online study. Now, as a kid, I was exposed to it somewhat, but the majority of my knowledge did come later in high school and after through books and the internet. How long did it take you to find your current path? Okay, I get this question a lot. This isn't the answer that I think you're looking for, but it took me about as long as I've been studying to find my current path. My practice is very fluid. It changes with the seasons and it changes as I grow. I am constantly learning and constantly expanding how my practice works. So truly, it's been many, many years of studying to get to this point. However, I think a lot of you ask questions in this regard to try to figure out how long it took me to feel comfortable practicing or comfortable in a path that was somewhat defined. And really for me, it took about a full year of dedicated study to be truly comfortable in my workings. But I would say it was another full year of working and studying before I was really set in my way and felt like I knew what I was doing for the most part. But like I said, I still am learning and my path is still changing and evolving. and I imagine that's how it'll be for the remainder of my life. Seeing as you're on such a public platform, how do you handle pagan trolls, the folks who think that their way is the only way? Alrighty, I got a couple of these questions, and I've been trying to figure out how to answer it. Because, in all honesty, I haven't experienced too much of this. There've been a few moments here and there, but for the most part, people are pretty respectful of my path. But for the most part, it doesn't really get to me that much because this is my practice. It's something that I've built for myself and it makes me really happy. And somebody telling me that it's not the way they would do things doesn't really matter. I know for me, this is what's right. And really, I guess that's all we can do. Alrighty. My other question is, do you have any secrets to your practice that you purposefully keep for yourself because of your tradition? Alrighty. So I don't have any secrets that I purposefully keep solely because of my tradition, but I do have practices that I keep for myself. And this is because I do want to keep some of my practice personal. And that's something I decided really early on in making videos and something I'm working on today. I promise you what I keep secret is nothing that would hinder your ability to learn or further your own craft. I make sure to teach everything that you need to build your own practice. And what I keep secret is nothing that would hinder that in any way. But anyways, yes, I do have some secrets, not because my tradition dictates it, but just because I want to keep some of my practice personal. Does Wicca still play an important part in your practice, or have you found another path that suits your needs better? So yeah, Wicca does still play a very important and integral part in my practice. However, I would say in the last 6 months or so, I have started exploring other avenues of paganism. I would say that my practice still aligns with Wicca, but it does also tie into other areas of paganism as well. And this is something that I plan on getting into a little later, but my Wiccan practice has grown and changed a little bit over time, as I believe everybody's practice would grow and change. How did your friends and family react when they found out you're a witch? Okay, this is probably one of my most asked questions, and I'm sorry to disappoint, but their reaction was pretty lame. They didn't really care. Oh, hang on, gotta let a dog in. Hi, do you want to come visit? Hi, you have a drool on your face. I got a couple of questions from people asking to meet the dogs. This one volunteered. This is Henry. He is, hi bud. He's a 7-year-old lab, and he's probably the only one that will want to interrupt filming. The other one is outside busy trying to catch squirrels, but you've probably seen her in earlier videos. Her name is Sophie, and these are just my 2 sweet little babies. All right, I'm not sure if I answered those questions fully, but that's okay, we're moving on. Do you have friends who are also witches, and how did you find them? If not, what do they think about you being a witch? So yes, now I do, but they're mainly people that I found through the YouTube creator community. Prior to putting myself out here on the interwebs, I really didn't have any. When I was still in high school, there were a couple girls that I knew who were interested, and we'd share our tarot decks and talk about things like that. But that was about as far as it went, and we were more acquaintances than friends. But in my regular, not on the internet life, my friends don't practice witchcraft, and we already talked about it. They don't really care. It's just whatever to them. What do you do for a living, and how do you maintain a work-life balance so that your home and magical practice is preserved and protected? So for the last couple of years, my work is a little more freelance. I am an artist, and I do murals and large-scale installations every once in a while. I also have an herbal business, which I know a lot of you will ask about. Soon I will be letting you all know a little bit more. But anyways, I do have an herbal business, and I sell little herbal concoctions at markets a couple times a year. And then beyond that, I have now YouTube. The way that I find balance is just trying to infuse magical acts into every moment of my day, whether that be with my tea in the morning or just taking the time to go for a 5-minute walk and collect some herbs and plants outside, and just infusing magic into every little thing I can do, no matter how mundane it is. That's how I maintain that balance for the most part. Just acts with intention. I'm actually curious about how you edit your videos. So I get this question a lot, actually. This video right here will be the first video on this channel that I will edit on Premiere Pro. I've been editing for my second channel solely on Premiere Pro, but this channel up until now has always just been edited using iMovie. Recently though, I have shifted and am now able to take the time to do it a little more professionally, but prior to this, I just have edited on iMovie and it works. What are you using for filming setup in the house? Do you take advantage of the natural light or do you have a ring light? I just use natural light. I much prefer that lighting. I think it gives it a really beautiful feel and, it's free. How long does it take you to edit a video? A very long time. It depends on every video. So this one, I am expecting it to not take too long. But for the most part, I would say I average about 2 to 3 days till a video is completely edited for a typical one on this channel. Let's say it's a spell video or a cooking video. I can get those done usually in 2 days. But something a little more involved, like the moon phases video or any of the simple witchcraft or following through the days, that usually takes 3 days, if not more, to edit. But I really love it and I'm okay spending that much time on it. I absolutely love your style of clothes and I was curious if you make them yourself, buy them online, or just do local shopping for them. So all of the above. I do make a lot of clothes and especially now as my style's shifted, I'm trying to make more. The dress I'm wearing currently is authentic vintage. It's from the 50s and it's actually from a local shop a few towns over that sells authentic vintage clothing. But for the most part nowadays, my clothes are handmade or curated from shops like that. What you eat in a day? Well, I get this question a lot, and this kind of leads into a couple that I have to come. I have a rare genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I'm not going to get too much into it. If you're interested, you can Google it, or there are a bunch of people here on YouTube that talk about it a little more. But one of the bigger consequences I've experienced because of it is something called gastroparesis. So essentially that means that my stomach sucks at its job and just doesn't really like food. But this leads into the next question. Do you eat the food you make now? It depends. So sometimes I can get away with having a bite or two, but for the most part, I don't really eat a lot of the food I make because I make food for other people. And this kind of leads into the next question. Are you vegan? I get this a lot. I'm not. First and foremost, the nutrition that I receive is not vegan. I don't really have a choice in the matter when it comes to what is pumped into my body. That's what insurance will cover, and I am thankful to have it. So this is kind of a hot topic on some of my cooking videos or anywhere I've used honey or animal products. So my household is not vegan, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize until they're in a situation where they can't eat food or be a part of it. And that's okay. It's kind of a weird problem to have. Food is one of the most communal and social aspects of life. Every holiday, every gathering, every day, people are engaged in an activity that revolves around food. And I'm not really able to partake in a lot of that. And sure, I can sit at the table and watch everybody eat food, but I can't be a part of the flavor and the enjoyment and all of that stuff. So the way that I like to be a part of food and eating and such is by making it. And because I live in a household that is not vegan, the ingredients I have to work with are not vegan. So my cooking isn't vegan. And personally, I'm okay with that because it's how I get to connect to people and be a part of a meal. in ways that I otherwise wouldn't be. This seems like a silly question, but I just adore the ring you wear on your index finger. Where did you get it? So I've been getting a lot of questions about my rings. And this ties back to my genetic disorder, which is probably going to be kind of disappointing to some of you, though you're welcome to wear them. So part of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome issues are incredibly loose joints and dislocations. And I have a lot of trouble with dislocations, specifically in this finger. If you can't tell that it's completely armored out. And I have a lot of issues with bigger joints. My shoulders and hips and knees in particular are bad. But this is a way to brace your joints in a way that doesn't look like you're wearing a brace. And so they're called silver ring splints. I get them on Etsy. I wear them simply to keep my joints in place. Now, I figured we'd finish out with the best question. What is your favorite part about Skyrim? And did Skyrim inspire you to become a green witch? It did me. Number one, thank you for asking a Skyrim question. That made my day. And I saw another one, but I forgot to screenshot it, so I'll pop it up in here just to give you some credit, because you guys are amazing. And thank you for bringing Skyrim into this. I love you so much. But, I'm not entirely sure what my favorite part of Skyrim is. I really, truly love it so much. I've played it for so many years and so long. I've put hours into it that I don't even know. And so at this point, I've gone through all the quests and everything that I could. I mean, of course, sometimes you still find things you've never done, but I've discovered the map in its entirety, and I just love that adventure and being in such a beautiful, beautiful place. I just like the atmosphere and feeling of warmth it gives me. Alrighty. That was the last question. Like I said at the beginning, there were quite a few questions I wasn't able to get to today. If you guys like this video and want me to do more, I would be happy to. Just let me know in the comments how you feel. This could become a regular thing. Maybe we'll do themed Q&As. I don't know. I may be getting ahead of myself here. I'm not even sure if you guys will like this video, but it was fun to create. I kind of like just sitting down and getting to candidly talk with you guys. Plus it was fun to interact with you all this way. But anyways, thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.